Hey guys, it's TRIZE here, formerly known as Mr. Jack and 000, back with Automation, the car company Tycoon game in the most powerful engine series. We're going to be building the most smallest but powerful V16 engine as of right now. This is the final V engine in this game, and there are only 2 more left to go. Both the Boxer 4 and 6 engines. And just saying, for my Automation to BeamNG builds, I've been running into some problems lately with a couple of cars that were supposed to be ready, but that's not the case right now since they're all glitching out for some odd reason. Hopefully, I'll try to resolve those problems to get back on those videos real soon. So now, let me show you the build of this tiny V16 engine. So first things first, on the top left, you bring the year up to the year of 2020 to get the most out of this engine. And with the V9 degree V16 engine, even though you need a DLC to get the V16 engine here, you can choose any block material you can choose from, either the heavy cast iron through magnesium. It all don't matter one bit except for weight. And for the family capacity, you bring this down to 50 millimeters. You square this down to get the engine size to 1,571 cubic centimeters, which almost equals to 1.6 liters for the family capacity. And we're going to be using dual overhead cam 5 valves made out of whatever head material you can choose from. For the internals, like the crank cowl rods and pistons, of course, the strongest as possible. So billet steel crankshaft, lightweight titanium cowl rods, and lightweight forged pistons. And for the variant capacity, you lower the bore down to 45 millimeters and the stroke to 42.5 millimeters to get the true engine size to 1,081 cubic centimeters, or just around 1.1 liters. And for the quality sliders you see here, you bring this up to a plus 15 for everything you see here. From top to bottom, you gotta make this reliable, powerful, and pretty much everything in the books as possible. For the compression, you set this to a fairly high 11.4 to 1 ratio. And for the cam profile, like my previous builds, 100 cam profile, max this out, and VVT at all cams. For the turbocharger, of course, ball bearing because it's the best one out of all of them. And you increase the intercooler to 547 horsepower. The compressor and turbine, like the V12 build, it stays as is to 35 millimeters for the compressor and 30 millimeters for the turbine. And the air ratio, jump this up to a 1.4, and the max boost, again, jump this up to a 43.5 psi. For the fuel system, you probably know about this one, direct injection throttle per cylinder race intake running on ultimate fuel, with the fuel mixture maxed out to a 10.0, the ignition timing up to a 76, and the RPM was set to a very high 9,500 RPM. And lastly, for the exhaust, of course, shortcast thanks to it being turbocharged, but we're using dual exhaust with the exhaust diameter increased to 63.5 millimeters, which that equals, if that loads here, hold on. Alright, got in check. So that equals to 2.5 inches. And of course, no cats, no mufflers, none of that good stuff, and bring the quality up. And we get the final horsepower rating of 386.9 horsepower at 8,200 RPM, torque at 271.7 pounds-feet of torque at 7,000 RPM. And like always, no engine knocking, no valve float, no stress whatsoever because we got no current warnings, but we do get a lot of turbo lag. It's like the turbo kicks in at around like 5,200 RPM, but peaks out at 6,600 RPM, which that is pretty bad, ladies and gentlemen. So in just a sec, I'm gonna give you here of what this engine sounds like. While playing around with it, the manual testing mode, I'll cycle through all the graphs on here, starting from the power and torque, torque and boost, torque and efficiency, and power and efficiency. After showing you all those graphs, I'll show you the engine that is currently ripped apart except for the headers and turbos to watch these scroll red while doing some fake gear shifts, and that's going to be ending off our video right there. So now let's bring the graph back up to give you here of what this engine sounds like right now. Those damn turbochargers are freakishly loud. It's like you can hear those more than the engine. So that'll do it with Automation, the car company Tycoon game with the small but powerful V16 engine. So that's a wrap with the long list of V engines. Now, the only two remaining are the Boxer engines. After doing all that, I'll change things up by getting the most torque out of all the engines since it's not brought up in most engine builds, which will be pretty interesting for the future. And for those who are interested in this type of content, please be sure to like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any videos like this in the future, including my Automation to BeamNG Drive videos too, which hopefully I'll have a working car build by then. So this is TRIZE rising up and signing out.